Hi, everyone, and welcome to another edition of the Bastian Weekly, your source for news on roles, recruitment, supply chain, and technology. So, just a couple of roles I wanted to mention on today's episode. We've recently picked up a retained assignment for a head of supply chain role for a growing consumer brands business. Location is northern New South Wales / southern southeast Queensland. If you've got a background in supply chain transformation, revamping S&OP, defining a network strategy, and reviewing where physical locations for manufacturing and distribution plants are located, have experience servicing large retailers like a Kohl's or a Woolworths as well, then this could be an exciting role for you. We've got a program director role for a global supply chain advisory business. Location is London in the UK. You will be working alongside a global iconic food and grocery retailer around a large UK and European physical infrastructure supply chain transformation program. So if this sounds like something you'd be interested in, please get in touch. We've got 2 senior consultant roles going in Bangkok, Thailand for a global supply chain advisory business. So if you've got a background in network strategy, DC design, or network optimization, you've got some experience being in front of multinational and local Thai customers, and obviously a background in supply chain consulting or advisory, this could be a great role for you. And the last roles I want to mention today was we're working with a automation vendor to help them source 2 project managers for the refurbishment of the Brisbane International Terminal Airport. So if you've got a background in automation, project management, and installing and commissioning automation solutions, preferably baggage handling, but potentially could be also intralogistics solutions, you're based in Brisbane or willing to relocate to Brisbane, this could be, there's 2 of these positions, so this could be an exciting opportunity for you. In terms of recruitment news, there's continues to be signs that the market is softening. Certainly job board advertisements are down. The number of applicants are going up. To me, that's a sign of the market having less roles and more interested bodies in changing opportunities. Although unemployment stays relatively low here in this country, we are seeing a softening of the recruitment market right now. And usually we talk about supply chain and technology news, but I personally have just finished a bit of a rodeo show across our 3 biggest markets, which is Sydney, Melbourne, and Singapore. So I just returned from Singapore last week. Some themes coming out of there that I thought would be relevant to share today. Firstly, anyone in the freight forwarding space, specifically ocean freight, is under a lot of pressure at the moment. So obviously the cost of 40-foot containers being 10,000 per shipment to down to around 200 per shipment is putting immense pressure on the market, but the volumes have dropped as well. So it's a pretty challenging space to be in the freight forwarding or logistics service space outside of contract logistics right now. Volumes certainly are down. So anyone in the consumer goods space or FMCG space, consumer spending is down. And so relevant organizations in those industries or subsidiary industries are feeling a bit of a pressure at the moment. And then the biggest theme that I thought would be worth sharing across Sydney, Singapore, and Melbourne was the lack of available talent. Now, there are obviously the newer generation and the younger generation applying for roles, but talent that actually has an interest in supply chain. And I say that because almost every supply chain leader I met across those 3 markets over the last 6 weeks have expressed a concern around A, the technical capability, but B, and primarily the motivation to work and the work ethic required to work in supply chain and operations. And so, that I think this is going to continue to be a trend moving forward. And I just thought I'd make note of it today because almost every senior leader that I met across those 3 places, complaining is probably not the right word, but we're certainly talking about their struggles and their challenges finding youth and the younger generation and the talent and that demographic who are interested in the work ethic required to work in supply chain and operations. So, I just thought I'd mention it, just something to keep an eye on. But I hope you're all doing well, and we'll see you next week on Bastian Weekly. Take care. Cheers.